The following presentation is brought to you by the RELM Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. We got a very special show today because I am announcing the second official show on the RELM Network. As you know, the network is going to launch on August 1st. My goal is 30 shows. So we've got 2 down and 28 to go. And I got to tell you, this second show is one that is after my own heart for a couple of reasons. Guys, if you know me and you follow the brand, you know I make no bones whatsoever about being a Batman 1966 mark. I actually saw the very first show air in real time. I remember it. I watched it, and I've been hooked ever since. The older I get, the more I appreciate the show. I actually got to meet my hero, Adam West. I got to meet Burt Ward. I had a discussion with Mr. West, which I'm sure will be covered in this show. Because, bro, there's going to be a show called The Joker's Mustache. And if you don't know what that means, you will know by listening to the show. But The Joker's Mustache is going to premiere on the RELM Network after August 1st. Now, bro, you can't do a show of such caliber with just anybody. Like, bro, no, like people think they know about Batman 66, but do they really know? I mean, do they really know? So I had to search the globe, man. I went all over the world looking for that perfect co-host to do that show with me. And you know what? You find things in ironic places sometimes, because me and my co-host did not start on the same page. And I will take 1,000% responsibility for that. As a matter of fact, I would never in my lifetime, whatever I have left on this earth, I will never go back and watch that original interview with me and this individual, because I will be so embarrassed and I will be so ashamed, because the fact of the matter is, over the years, man, I have learned to love this guy. He's got such a great sense of humor. His laugh brightens up a room. This man does great things with children and spreading the word of God. And man, I'm kind of glad we had that first show, because that's how we met. And that's how we're able now to do a show together. Guys, I'm going to plug it because this man has to sell it. I want money in his pocket. I want him to make a living. The co-author of The Death of WCW and my friend, the great RD Reynolds.
I don't even know. That may be the best introduction anyone's ever given anyone in the history of history. So hopefully I can live up to it. It is funny how we did not start on we started on opposite ends of the globe, you might say, but now we get along just fine. And, you know, I think it's funny, and it shows what can happen if people aren't afraid to, one, laugh at themselves, yes, and two, be able to admit, you know, I wasn't right about this. You know, I have a difference of opinion on that, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, who cares? Is it really something that people should be like gnashing teeth about?
You know, RD, you and I are both men of God. And I'm telling you, RD, it was about 6 months ago. I'm telling you, God put this on my shoulders, and I've been passing this along ever since. This is what I say. This is my mantra, RD. When you find yourself getting mad, getting upset, getting in an argument, here's what I say now. God put this on me. Bro, is it going to matter when you're dead? Like if you just, bro, if you're so mad at something and you ask yourself the simple question, is this really going to matter when I'm dead? It disappears, man.
I tell my son that all the time. I always say, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? What are you gaining out of this? Is it something where you feel, and if there is something where you're really passionate about, okay, that's fine. But at the end of the day, is it worth, as the old fogies say, like myself, angering up the blood in order to, I don't know, it's so silly to me, especially things that, we would have argued over in the past.
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, is it worth it? What are you going to gain? It's kind of like arguing like the death penalty. It's also that, because one side sees something one way and the other side sees something the other way. And most of the time, it's nothing where you're going to go, thank you for bringing that. I'd never thought about that. It's always something where people just like, anything you're going to say, it's not going to be something that you're going to magically make me agree upon. And with this is going to be fantastic because it's something you and I agree upon anyway.
The RD, I swear to God, I was about to just say, RD, that comes with age. And then I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Bro, you've got two grown men that are going to do an entire show about Batman 19. And I'm going to talk about the wisdom that comes with age. It's funny, as we get ready to do the Joker's mustache, RD, I'm really separated from professional wrestling anymore. I'm professional. I'm separated to the point where like I'll look at it and I like say to myself, man, just how can grown men just be so into this and take this so seriously? But then we're doing Batman 60.
Right. When do we have anything to say?
But again, listen, let's be honest.
It's funny you say that. I'll tell you why. Because my wife listens to K-pop, Korean pop. And, some people think, oh, that's weird, and I'll hear her listening to that. I'll be like, that's really strange. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to watch, a Batman TV show from 40 years ago. Is that okay?
The funny thing about that is, though, I saw that very, very popular band. What is it?
BTS.
I saw them on SNL. I didn't know who they were from Adam. And man, right. I love entertainment, which is why we love Batman 66. Right. I saw this group on SNL, and I'm like, these are a bunch of talented, very, very talented guys, man.
Right. It's entertainment. And you're going to... If you find something that entertains you, that's great. I think the challenge that you and I have both faced is we find people that take that entertainment like to death threats and everything else. And it's like, it's entertainment. It's a movie, it's a TV show, it's wrestling, it's whatever it is. It's really probably not worth getting all, grinding your teeth about. So, yeah,
RD, I'm sure as we get into the Joker's mustache, we're going to go episode by episode by episode. I'm sure at some point, you and I'm sure we're going to question some of the Cape Crusaders antics.
Yes.
I'm sure some of his decisions, we may we may be armchair Batman, but bro,
absolutely.
We're not going to take it to the serious level of, we need to go to Adam West's grave and do bad things. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Just so you know, I have 3.5 years of material based around how Commissioner Gordon is actually the crime kingpin of all of Gotham. So if you're not on board with that, then get out now.
Well, there's going to be some conspiracy theories in this show as well.
Has to be. Yeah, I mean, trust me, whenever I start pitching that this was what Gordon was planning all along, and then you'll just think, you know what? That's really sage wisdom from this old man in a Batman shirt.
Oh, interesting. So so you're telling me we're going to hear, I don't want to even say spins, but we're going to hear some commentary on some things that maybe we took for granted on the surface, but there's a much deeper layer behind.
Yeah, it's not going to be, well, let's look at episode 3. It's called Fine Feathered Finks, and it stars this person. And you may not know, but this person he was a backup actor on I Dream of Jeannie as well. You know, no. It's going to be, we're going to look at this.
Wow.
Analyze what the villains were doing, analyze what Batman was doing, ask the eternal question of just how dumb was Aunt Harriet, and then the Gotham City. I would question why anyone lives there, and and trust me, we'll get into Commissioner Gordon, because he is. I mean, when you look at it, you'll really think that guy really is. He is pretty shady.
That's
true. We'll explain it all.
Interesting.
All to you.
And I would like to, Tony Khan, is a hot topic these days because, Tony Khan, is the son of a billionaire. And I mean, I think he has shown over the last 6 months, like, money is not an object. I would like to break down, like, when we go in that bat cave, I want to start breaking down expenses. I want to know what you think everything in the Batcave cost. And I want to break down, because I'm very critical of Tony, because I'm like, Tony, I will never know what it is to be a billionaire or a son of a billionaire. I would never know. So I would never know the feeling or the mindset of, like, just spending money. I mean, guys, you guys like you and I, RD, we are on a budget.
Right.
And Bruce Wayne was a millionaire. I mean, very much like Tony Khan. But I think we're going to really need to question some of the items. Like, were they necessary? How often were they used?
That's the whole key. Okay. That may have come in handy for this one instance. How much time did you spend developing that? How much money did you pay for that?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's going to be it. And, whenever you develop something and you have something in your house, okay, and you've spent the money to develop it, you spent the time wherever he's gotten this from, that you use it so infrequently that it needs a giant label on it to tell you what it is.
That's a warning signal. That's a big warning signal.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure that, even though we get along well, I'm sure there will be instances
there's gonna be
where
debate.
you and I don't agree on things.
There's going to be debates. There's going to be debates. Yes.
Yeah. But that will be part of the fun, is to be able to go through and for me to explain why, Julie Newmar was far more attractive than Yvonne Craig. It's all good.
I'm with you on that one.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no. But there's a lot of things that are going to be debated. Like, I want to really get into your head about, like, these are the things that we're going to talk about on the Joker's Mustache. And guys, I'm telling you, I can't wait for this show. And I think you're going to have RD is brilliant, and he's hysterical, and he's brilliant. But I'm going to ask you questions like, seriously, man, if you were the Caped Crusader, like, which villains would you really fear? I mean, it's kind of like, like when the Penguin starts that laugh, it's like, how afraid am I really of the Penguin?
Right. Right.
When the Riddler starts laughing and carrying, like, am I really afraid of a guy running around in a green gimmick? But I'm going to tell you, RD, growing up, like wrestling too, there were those villains. Like, for me in wrestling, like growing up in wrestling, I got to tell you, who I was scared to death of as a kid?
In wrestling or on Batman?
In wrestling. Remember?
Let's see.
I know.
Frank Gotch. I know you're quite a bit older than me.
No. Well, you probably, this is an old WWF villain under Vince McMahon Sr. But there used to be a German wrestler by the name of Waldo von Erich.
Waldo von Erich, yes.
For some reason, scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. So there,
he's named Waldo. How many nice guys named Waldo do you know?
Where's Waldo though? Where's Waldo? I don't. I mean, that's
but like that. Okay, where's Waldo? Obviously, he's hiding and probably stalking people. So he's really good at hiding. So yeah, again, I'm serious. And God bless anyone out there. If you're named Waldo, or your parents cursed you with that name, or you cursed your child with that name, what would name all the nice Waldos that you know? Go for it.
Well, I got one. What? Go ahead. No, I got one. Tennessee Tuxedo sidekick.
Oh, okay.
No, was that Plumley?
No,
that was Plumley.
Waldo. I don't know. I have to.
I think it was Plumley. I think I'm wrong about that.
I gotta go old school and look in my cartoons from the 1960s Rolodex. It's not even online. You have to pull out a Rolodex.
There had to be some villains like when you
just keep saying villains. You're not saying, man, I remember that hero named Waldo.
No. I'm talking about when that bat phone went off and Commissioner Gordon got on there and we had a problem. And Commissioner Gordon would say it's so-and-so.
Yeah.
There had to be times when Batman hung up the phone and said, oh, shit. Well, would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. It's funny because you say maybe not the Joker, but there is a scene, and it is in season 1 that we will get to in short order, where it was. I mean, I remember watching it as a kid, and I did not see it first run, but I remember seeing that, and the first time I saw it, I was like, that Joker guy is really creepy. And it's not just because of his mustache that he's painted over. Right. But, I mean, it was something where he was very unhinged. I also thought the Riddler was, incredibly unhinged. You've never seen, I just wish one day, and I'll say this probably every single episode we do with Frank Gorshin as the Riddler. One day, I wish I was as happy at just a second of my life. Yeah. He seemed to be doing every single episode.
Yeah. He was always laughing, wasn't he? But and on the other side of the coin, I'm just going to throw this out there, and these are going to be the deep dives. Does Commissioner Gordon really need to call Batman like when it's a bookworm? Do we really need Commissioner bro? If they can't handle bookworm, do we really need the entire department, bro?
How did Commissioner Gordon get that post is what I want to know. Was he voted in? Was he how did he achieve this? What did he show in any previous tenures on the force that said this is the guy? I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody on that force was worthless. Because anytime that anything happened, I'm telling you, if someone just jaywalked, they would call Batman because they were just unable to solve any crimes.
I agree. Yes. And then I'm going to throw this out there too. This is all going to be fodder for the Joker's mustache. And listen, I may get some heat for this, RD, but I'm going to put it out there because I'm just going to be honest. Chief O'Hara.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
I believe there were a good number of episodes where Chief O'Hara was blitzed on the show.
If you've ever noticed, pay attention, kids, as we go through this. And we want you all to watch the episodes ahead of time so that you can play along. If you notice, Chief O'Hara's nose, very red.
Yes.
On a lot of those. Yes. It may not have been.
Bulb-like.
It may have been.
No.
Maybe. I don't want to cast aspersions. Actually, I do, because it was a
Wait
character. So,
bro, that's almost sacrilege, I think, a little bit. I mean, I could take that. But
you watch. He looks like Rudolph in some of the episodes. His nose is so red.
He had the big Jimmy Durante thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to question? I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I don't want to be borderline sacrilege.
Mm-hmm.
We know this was the birth of the cliffhanger. This was
right.
All right, we're tuning in next week. You know, are we going to question how they got out of some of those predicaments? Are we really going to break down if it was a possibility to get out of, or should they have just perished on that particular episode?
Yes, we will absolutely break that down. We will also break down the flaws. Like whenever the villains came up, you know, we talked about Bruce Wayne and how he built these things in the Batcave that they used like once. I would really want to question. There was one that I watched the other night where Catwoman had the dynamic duo, our heroes, trapped, and she had a frying pan. They were on essentially a giant floor. There was a frying pan. She took them out of there, and then she took them up on a roof and tied them down, and then brought out giant magnifying glasses to burn them.
Yes.
And so I want to know what her logic was between, okay, I could just burn you in this room. I would rather do it up on the roof, go through the expenditure of having my henchmen, because I'm sure she didn't do it, carry Batman and Robin up 27 flights of stairs, and then also where she purchased these not one. I mean, thankfully I would like to think she got a quantity discount because she got 2 of these giant magnifying glasses. That's what I want to know.
There's a lot to unpack here.
There's however many episodes. There's 3 seasons.
We got to talk like another
movie.
This is another thing that always stayed with me, RD. And this troubled me even as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the occasion when Alfred had to get in the Batman suit?
Absolutely.
And people bought
indistinguishable.
People bought him as the Cape Crusader. Even as a kid, I questioned that, RD.
No, I mean, you gotta think who is seeing this and who would be questioning it. It's the people of Gotham, and they're not the brightest bulbs in the drawer anyway, because they stick around in the city where every day, every week, a new villain shows up, or a villain just reappears, and they don't move. Why would you stay in the city of unlimited crime?
Yeah, and who's the prosecutor? Who's the prosecutor when Riddler is put behind bars in episode 2, and he's out in episode 6?
Right. Yeah.
Good behavior. Good behavior. Was he doing stand up in a Gotham prison and they let him out early?
2 words. Commissioner Gordon.
Oh, this is going to be. I don't even know if I'm qualified to do this show anymore. I really don't. This is very serious to you. You've studied this.
Absolutely. You will see it. He is absolutely the crime boss of the entire show.
Oh my God. I cannot wait for this. All right, listen, guys, this is going to be, we're going to launch this after August 1st. It's the Joker's mustache, the classic 1966 Batman show. I hope I mean, RD, they really should be watching along. Like, bro, I don't know. I'm sure you've got exactly what I've got. The beautiful box set with the little Batmobile. Is that what you have?
Yeah, I mean, you could. I picked up the box set. I did not get the Blu-ray set or whatever. I mean, I picked up all the sets on DVD. They were a few years ago. They were like $6 on Black Friday.
Yeah,
and so I for sure got all of them. And of course, you can find places to watch them online. Yeah, and we're going to go through chronologically. So in order to get ready, go and watch the first episode. And what's really interesting about the first and second, the early episodes, there are differences. There are differences in those episodes versus what you would see later on. And we'll point those out again. I don't want it to be a nerd fest where we point out, this episode was 23 minutes and 37 seconds, and the other ones were 24 minutes and 12 seconds or something like that. But I think that it's something, if you watch it, you'll see there's some differences. And of course, when we get to season 3, whenever we were talking about budgets earlier, I don't even want to know the Salvation Army budget they were using on the show at that point, but we can have a lot of fun with that. So,
and we will take questions from listeners.
Oh yeah,
watch it. I mean, there's no stone we won't unturn. We are gonna pick this. This is really about dissecting the show. Like you said, this isn't about, oh yeah, and that actor starred in this, that, and the other. No, this is really about, because I do believe, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I love this show as a 5-year-old kid, and I love this show as a 60-year-old man on 2 very different levels. Yep. But that's the way it was written. So there may be a lot in here that we just took for granted because we've seen these episodes so many times that have not really been dissected and put under a microscope. That's what we're going to do.
Or maybe under 2 giant microscopes if Catwoman was involved.
On that note, I can't top that. On that note, guys, I am going to wrap this up. You guys don't want to miss this. This is going to be on the RELM Network starting after August 1st. I'll let you guys know the exact date. The Joker's mustache, and we will explain that in the opening episode. And it's going to be me, and it's going to be the great RD Reynolds. And give him a Batman line to, like to the Bat Pole. Give me something like that to get these people wound up for this show, man.
The one that I think of is there was an episode where they were battling the Mad Hatter, and the Mad Hatter had stolen his cowl. Okay, it was always kind of a hat.
Always after that cowl, the Mad Hatter. That's all he cared about was the cowl.
So Batman had a different cowl, and it was the one that he had was left at the dry cleaners or something. He has a neon pink cowl.
Yes,
it's fantastic.
Yes,
and he says to him, hey, don't worry about me. I've taken this pill, and Robin goes, are you feeling okay? And he just deadpan goes, the effects are starting to wear off faintly. So
tremendous. Hey, RD, before we go, I do want you to talk about your other stuff. I want you to talk about your books. I want you to talk about WrestleCrap, because a lot of people don't know RD is the what I say, founder or the co-founder, because I know you guys did this together. Either way, one of the most famous sites out there in wrestling, WrestleCrap. Tell them all about that stuff, RD.
Sure. 21 years I've been doing WrestleCrap.com. It just started as a something where I would find silly things in wrestling and write articles about them, call them inductions, and just spotlight. Look at this silly thing. Look, they put Hector Guerrero in a chicken outfit. They wheeled him around in an egg, and then whenever he popped out, everyone booed. Of course, I would try and do it a little more comically and a little more in-depth than that. And then after a while, it was great because Vince just started supplying me material, and that's how we became
Very nice. Very nice. 21 years, man. I mean, was there even an internet back then, bro?
Trust me, yes. There was no YouTube. I can tell you that because I was running around to get footage. I would either be tape trading with other wrestling nerds such as myself, or I drove my poor wife to every video store in the tri-state area trying to find any wrestling tapes that I could. So we would go to Blockbuster, after Home Video, after Mom and Pop Video, after Hollywood Video, after Family Video, every store you can imagine. That poor woman, I don't know how she stayed with me. Thank God she did. But I would go and get that because the internet, the internet was in its very infancy. Yes. And it was nuts. So
I remember working at the WWE, probably 95, when they came in with the AOL presentation, and we were like, what is this?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember being on. And of course, the late great Bob Ryder.
Yes.
We did a prodigy session at WrestleMania 11. That's how. But I think you may go back a little further than me with this.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, that whole time period, because it was something where you didn't just go out to YouTube and find anything. You couldn't just Google and find any wrestling stuff you wanted. It was tough to find, and that was kind of a quote unquote service that I was able to provide, and make people laugh, and then. Of course, wrote the books, Death of WCW, WrestleCrap Book of Lists, and Death of WCW chronicles the rise and fall of World Championship Wrestling. A lot of people think because I had Vince on the cover of the book that like it's his life story or something. But I mean, you were there for essentially. I mean, because everybody always wants to point a finger. Oh, who killed WCW? And we actually pointed out in the book, who actually yanked the plug on WCW. And spoiler alert, it's not Vince Russo. It's not Eric Bischoff. It's not any of your favorite people. It was
the bookworm.
Maybe it was the bookworm. and his crony, the printer's devil. That was one of his henchmen.
We need to do a special episode. This may be a special bonus episode. I want to know how you go from the great Cornelius to the bookworm. That may be a whole other episode. That's a bonus episode.
Absolutely.
Material.
There'll be plenty of bonus episodes, kids. You don't need to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, guys, man, I can't wait, man. It is going to be a blast. Guys, catch up on this stuff, because I'm telling you, not only if you're going to be a viewer of this show, you will love these episodes. You will absolutely love them. The Joker's Mustache with me and RD Reynolds, starting right after August 1st. Same RD time, same RD channel. We'll see you then.
The preceding presentation was brought to you by the RELM Network.